The Worst Holiday, Chapter 5. It would be nice to say that we had some rad meals out of that bartender's body, but we were too starved to prepare the meat before we bit straight into his bum. The artist accompanying us was more bothered that our car and us were in the way of her picture reference than she was about what we were doing. We didn't get far before I threw up in her face. Our potential future relationship down the drain, I assumed, before she offered me a ginger tablet. Hey, I'm Eve. I've just lost my place, sorry. Bear with. It's done this annoying thing on the document where it's like gone back on me. Hey, I'm Eve. I hope that takes away your sickness. Let's go barbecue this bully's body so it is edible. I am chuffed that you killed him. He would always scowl at me for coming into the pub to do artwork without buying a drink. Hey, Eve. Thanks for the tablet. I'm Tyler, and this is my boss Ben, my brother Simon, and our new friend Peter. I can see why that angered you. You ought to be paid for your profession, not made to spend money on it yourself. Defo, Ben chimed in, and you don't want to be stuck at home or outside when it's windy. You were wise carrying ginger tablets with you, Eve, affirmed Peter. I do the same. Eve thanked us for our understanding and headed to the bathroom to clean the chunder off her cheeks. She advised that she would drive the stolen Range Rover to the nearest beach. Before we got in the seats, we lobbed the bartender's body into the boot and heard a crunch as we closed it. On the way to Old Hunstanton, we realised that it was going to be hella risky to take a corpse onto the sand and not get caught. It would have been brilliant to save the cooking job for the top of Ben Nevis, where police probably wouldn't be able to get to while there was still evidence. But we couldn't think how to preserve the flesh unsuspiciously without going back to Norwich. Eve and Peter lived with her family, so we couldn't put it in their freezers. We were relieved to have our own vehicle, though. We were super daring going in first class on a train we hadn't bought tickets for, and we're going to continue that behaviour for the rest of the ride. After stopping off at Sainsbury's to get some garlic, butter, spices, reams of tin foil to cover the corpse, and the biggest knife we could find in the way of a meat carver, our drum and bass filled drive came to an end. Damn, why didn't we buy anything to tide us over with from the supermarket? Simon said. We all put our heads in our hands. Well, we can't do anything about that now. Tyler, how about us two wrap the body? Even Peter, you collect firewood. Ben, your job is to find something to skewer the meat with and position it over the flame. Let's meet down on the beach. Covering the corpse with tin foil was awkward. We couldn't get a sheet of it large enough to wrap around its circumference, so we had to make do with multiple bits. We had almost finished when we realised that we had forgotten to smother the skin with garlic, spices and butter. Even Peter rang us to ask what was going on, saying that Ben was so ravenous that he was threatening them with the piece of groin he had ripped off. So they came to help us with the turmeric, paprika, cumin, coriander and garam masala covering job. What the fuck are you doing? Let's just cook already, shouted Ben as he ran up to the car park, using the groin spear as a baton, with which he shunted the body out of the boot. It rolled straight down onto the sand, ruining our culinary creation and rolling into a sunbathing couple. Says you, Mr. Nevis, the rest of us shouted back. We thought that if we were going to do something illegal, we might as well make it enjoyable. Then we realised the couple, who had been howling, were on the phone to the police.